Welcome to the Lone Wolf Lounge podcast, your new favorite hideout where stories roam free and the wild ones find their voice.
Well, welcome to the Lone Wolf Lounge, and tonight we're going to be talking about sleep paralysis. That's right, sleep paralysis. It could be a very controversial subject because people believe that it's tied to spirit demons. These demons that come to you in the night and possess you, take over you, and some women have claimed to be raped by these demons. Now, this demon that's responsible for that is named incubus. And if you're a male, she is succubus. Now, these demons are known in other countries, by other names. In Japan, it's kanashiwibari. In Arab cultures, it's al-jalhum. And in Latin America, it's pesadilla. And in other countries, it has its own name. But in all, the most famous names is incubus and succubus. Well, let's get into the paranormal side of it. Father Daniel Rejo, a priest of St. Catherine of Sierra Church. He's known as an exorcist for the church. And he was called in to investigate an incident where a woman claimed that she was being raped by some demon. She claimed to hear voices. She also claimed that she suffered from paralysis, and also claimed that she wasn't alone in the room and saw these shadow people and claimed to see these demons. So the only thing that kind of ties all that into religion, Christianity. I'm not going to say and define this as sleep paralysis, and it doesn't actually say sleep paralysis in the Bible, but in Job 4:12-16, I'm going to read this to you. Let you decide what it sounds like, but to me, it sounds like sleep paralysis. Job 4:12-16. Amid disquieting dreams at night, when deep sleep falls on people, fear and trembling seized me and made all my bones shake. The spirit guided past my face, and the hair on my body stood on the end. It stopped, but I could not tell what it was. A form stood before my eyes, and I heard a hushed voice. That kind of describes someone going through this phenomenon, sleep paralysis. So I don't know. I don't know. That's why these priests. I don't know if this is why they're referring to as to why it's these night demons. These demons that are responsible for these types of incidents. But on the research part of it, research now claims that REM, which is rapid eye movement, it's when you're in the state of REM, when you're asleep, it's pretty much disturbed, intense brain activity. Okay. And what I mean by that, it's when you're dreaming, there's a lot of activity going on in your mind, in your brain. And it gets disturbed. And the reason why it gets disturbed is because they're saying that this is caused by people that suffer from lack of sleep, like insomniacs, like myself. I'm an insomniac. And because of that, your mind wakes up before your body does. And when it does, your mind's aware of what's going on. Your mind's awake, but your body is still asleep. And because of that, you could experience this paralyzed state. Now, they tie to this paralyzed state to what you call atonia. Atonia, and in Greek, it's anthnios. It's a state of the lack of normal muscle tone, part of REM. And get this, it prevents your body to move while you dream so you won't injure yourself. Wow. For your body to know that, I mean, what a machine, right? Your body knows what you're going through, and it puts you in the state of atonia so you don't injure yourself while you're dreaming. You don't act out your dreams. Now, there's people that say that they're able to act out some of their dreams, but for the most part, science has said that this is what your body goes through, and this is why you experience sleep paralysis. Makes sense, right? Now, let's get into my experience with sleep paralysis. And I will tell you, when I first experienced this, I believed at that time it was tied to some sort of paranormal. And it frightened me. I didn't understand it at the time. But this was about when I was about maybe 18, 19 years old. I was living at home with my mother, and she would work nights, okay? And this was the reason why I was home alone at that time. It must have been way, I mean, I don't know, past 12 midnight. I know it's way past midnight. I don't sleep. Well, I remember being asleep, and I was sleeping on my side. Actually, I was sleeping on my right side. I'm a right side sleeper. And I remember waking up, and I couldn't move. And because I couldn't move, I tried to get out of bed. I couldn't get out of bed. I tried, talking. I tried yelling. I couldn't move. I couldn't talk. I couldn't scream. I couldn't do anything. All I could do is, see what was going on. My eyes were open, and I was witnessing what was going on with my body, and I couldn't move. And at that moment, I did feel like something was with me inside the room. And I tried looking around with my eyes as much as I could. I couldn't move. And I started to feel like something was tugging my covers where my feet were at. Like something was pulling my cover. And man, it's an awful feeling when you feel restricted. You can't move. I don't wish that on anybody. But I did question, am I dreaming? Is this going on? Is this happening? And I knew that I was not dreaming because about 5:30 in the morning, I see my mother walking into the house, and she's going down the hallway, and she usually got home about 5:30. And I see her going to the bathroom down the hallway. I tried screaming. I tried yelling out her name because I wanted something or someone to just wake me up from this paralyzed state. I was confused as to what was going on. It was my first time experiencing this. And a short time later, I snapped out of it. I did talk to my mother about it. She didn't know what was I was talking about. She told me to go back to bed. So I did. After that, I started looking into sleep paralysis. That's that got me into that subject. I was wanting to understand it. And that's when I found out that, research tied it to REM. But what made this experience a little more strange. And the reason why I kind of questioned it even more so was because a few nights after that, again, I was asleep at night. And this time it must have been some time between 3 or 4 in the morning. And my mother was home with me that night. And she had this china filled with dishes in the living room. And I heard like this china just fell down and all the dishes just broke. It was so loud. And I get up thinking, man, did somebody break into the house? What's going on? So I run into the living room. And at that moment, at that same time, my mother runs into the room because she started questioning, like, who broke my damn dishes? And when we both ended up together in the living room, the china was intact. No dishes were broken. And we both looked at each other and we're like, are we dreaming? But how could we dreamt this if we both ended up in the room together hearing what we heard? So, because of that, I started questioning, the couple of nights before when I was experiencing the sleep paralysis, and I was like, man, something's going on here, But I'm also a skeptic, I'm the type of person to where I have to actually see it. If there was some sort of, I don't know, spirit or whatnot, it basically has to like, hey, it's me. I'm here. Okay. All right. You win. Other than that, I just forgot about it. I flushed it. But it did happen. It did happen. So, that was my personal experience. And I've experienced sleep paralysis about 2 other times. And it's the same thing. Again, I'm an insomniac. I'm here. It's about 12:30 after midnight. And again, I'm awake. I just hope I don't experience that tonight. So, man, we're going to leave that up to you. Are these spirit demons that are responsible for this, or sleep paralysis, or again, is it people that suffer from stress, people that are insomniacs? They also tied it to the people who may have been taking some kind of medication that causes, for your body to be out of tune, out of balance, and this is why your mind wakes up before your body does. People with bipolar are also known to experience sleep paralysis. But in my case, I just don't sleep. I might get maybe 4-5 hours tops, and I'm good. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and leave that up to you, because there's people out there that have actually experienced sleep paralysis and have had things happen to them that they just can't explain, And so I can't tell those people what they're experiencing is not real, or what they saw is not real, because I myself experienced that incident with the dishes, man. And it did happen. I did hear that. And what made that even more strange is that we moved out of that house. Okay. And relatives of ours moved into that. Months later, they also claimed hearing dishes break. And my mother and I just looked at each other and were like, hey, that happened. It happened. So that house now has been knocked down and a new one's been built. So I would have loved to go on back and maybe do my own little investigation, but we'll never know now. And to this day, I can't explain it. It's kind of still bugs me, but I kind of just learned to flush it, live with it. Again, I have to see it. It has to be there in front of me. So I kind of just learned to kind of just, you know, flush the whole thing down the drain. And was nothing, right? But anyways, this is a Lone Wolf Lounge, and if you have a story, sleep paralysis, and also experienced what I've experienced, if not more, we'd love to hear from you. So we're out, man. Everybody, done.